Oh, I wonder if I could drive on top of it.
Probably.
Enemies looking right at us. Out of the fight.
I'm getting damage points on him though. Apparently he
Yeah.
killed himself. I don't get the kill for that.
Just need that second gun down here at the time. Start.
Locked and loaded.
Oh, killed the AMX. Wasn't aiming for him, but okay.
That'll do.
Fire on target. Looks like that one went right through. One of our tracks, damn it. Enemies got us in their sight.
You got the gun?
No.
Philip, you got this one?
Yeah, yes. It looks like gentlemen holding a door open. After you, sir.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, I've got 3 kills. I could take this one, or I could give you guys another kill.
Hey guys. Given what's going on around the world at the moment, I think it's likely that most of us are going to have some more spare time at home. With that in mind, I thought I'd make a video on things to do in World of Tanks to keep us occupied.
They've spotted us. They've spotted us.
Okay, first up, Platoons. Playing the game alone can get a little stale at times. If you're finding yourself feeling that way, then I recommend you try platooning up with fellow clan members. On the PS4, all you'll need to do is drop a message on the community page letting folks know what time zone you're in, and someone will send you an invite. This is a great way to change the dynamic of the game really easily. Next up, try something new. I've heard some folks say that the game can feel quite samey sometimes. Often this comes from people who are only playing one particular type of vehicle. For example, if you only play heavies, then I strongly suggest you jump into a light tank. Or if you only play lights, then jump into an artillery or a medium tank. What I've found from my own experience is, by diversifying my experience of the game, I became a better tanker because I learned what does and doesn't work for various types of vehicle. When I started off in the game, I was a heavy driver, and it irritated me to no end when a light tank would come over and do the circle of death around me. It was only when I started taking lights out that I realised the best way for a heavy driver to survive this is to drive up close to a wall or the map boundary. With that knowledge, if you drive your heavies with that in mind all the time, not only do you deter lights from coming after you, but you also have cover close by should artillery become an issue for you. Now, if you're a veteran of the game, you've probably already nailed all of the technical game skills, and you've probably also completed all of the tech tree ones you wanted. To you I say, sign a mercenary contract, because they will help you bring out tanks that would otherwise continue to collect dust in your garage. I am coming to the end of the machine contract, and what I've really enjoyed about it is the way it forced me to play tanks that I wouldn't have otherwise thought about playing. In my example, it's the French light line. I had to play them to complete stage 5, and along the way I've learned a whole new dynamic to light tanking. It's been great fun to enjoy the game in a different way, and I would highly recommend it. Okay, so far I have 17 tier 10s, some of which I absolutely love to play and others I really regret grinding for. Let me show you through my garage and I will share some of my thoughts on each of what I have. So here we are, in my favourite jungle clearing, with all 17 of my tier 10s. What I'm going to do is run through each vehicle quickly and explain why I have it, and then I'll go back through them again and detail what I like and dislike about each one. So first off, M48. I'm a Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, so I had to have the M48 because he drove the M47 in the Austrian army. T110E3 leads on from the Doom Turtle. Everyone has to have the Doom Turtle. Centurion AX, it's just a British tier 10. Whoops, British tier 10. My aim is to get all tier 10s, as you can see. So I've got the AX, Chieftain, Super Conqueror, 215B, which I really like actually. Death Star, which I struggle with sometimes. It just doesn't gel with me. Conqueror gun carriage, which can't hit the side of a barn from the inside, but when it does, it's amazing. Leopard 1. I just wanted a German 10, and I thought the Leopard looks cool. I'll go for that one. Mouse. It's the mouse. You know. Don't need to say any more. Panzerkampfwagen 7. It just looks awesome. Yeah, just looks cool, and I wanted it. T100 LT. Retro's got it. They said it was amazing, so I got it. IS-7. It's the iconic Russian heavy. Everyone needs it. 279E. That was last year's yearly games reward at the end. 277. This is my latest tier 10. I watched a Jingles video and saw someone have an incredible game in it, and I thought, yep, I need that one, so there it is. Kranvang, I like the idea of the dynamic of auto-loading heavies, and the idea that this is a hull-down beast. I just wanted it. Same again for the Stritzwang. Oh, apologies if I've said that wrong. Stritzwang 103B. A new dynamic to the game, and again, this one in the right place is an absolute beast. And that's it. Okay, now that you've seen them all, I'm going to jump to the tech trees and discuss them in a little more detail. I loved this line from the Pershing up to the Patton. If I'm honest, I can't remember much about the T20, and yeah, anything below 7 and below, 7 and below, no memory, so it didn't stick out in my mind. But the Pershing, M46, and the M48, I had a great time. I've still got my M46, as you can see. I loved it. Good mobility, good gun. Don't trust the armor, but if you play it right, you don't need to. Next up, E3. Let's jump back down there. Where is it? There it is. Right. Yeah, Jackson. Don't have much memory of that. T25AT. That's a nippy little thing. And I had some pretty good games in that. I can't remember if I marked it. Let's have a look. Yes, I did. I marked that one. T28 has very little gun traverse, and it I don't have many good memories of it. You just got to get through it. T95, oh wow, Doom Turtle. I've marked it. It's a beast. Downside, it's an artillery magnet. You get penned through the roof there. 2 giant fuel tanks, you're on fire, and before you know it, you've burnt out. But the gun on it is incredible. And the E3 as well. Let's just jump back to the garage. That's another great vehicle. It's more manoeuvrable than the T95, and I don't have the E4, so I can't comment on that, but I love the E3. I really do like this vehicle. Centurion AX. Let's have a look at this tech tree. Now, for a long time on this one, I think I quit this line for a while. I quit with the Comet because I was fed up with getting myself into trouble and not having a gun that could get me out. Centurion 1 as well, that was painful until you're fully unlocked. The 7-1 can be painful until you're fully unlocked. But when you are fully unlocked, they're well worth it. I'm grinding the 7-1 again for the FV 4202 just to complete the set. Chieftain was my first tier 10 in the game, and as being my first, I was a noob. I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I drove the Conqueror out thinking that it had hull armor, and it doesn't, and I struggled a lot. But now that I'm a bit more experienced at the game, the Conqueror it's one of my favourite vehicles to play, and I have marked that one as well. Super Conqueror, yep, extension of the Conqueror, similar playstyle. Keep it hull down, you're absolutely fine. You'll bounce for days. It's slower. The Super Conqueror is slower than the Conqueror, but it does have more armor on the hull at the front there, and the reload is quicker. So general improvements all round on the tier 9. 215B. I got this one thinking, oh, I'll just get it to complete the set, but it turns out I absolutely love this thing. I carry a fire extinguisher in it because the engine is at the front, and you will catch fire more than you want to, so train the fire extinguishing skill there, carry an extinguisher, and yeah, you side scrape in this and you'll bounce. I love this thing. I've had some great games in it. The famous Death Star. Yeah, I struggle in this thing, I really do. It's not my... I try, I do my best. But yeah, grinding up to it, AT7 is... well, from the AT7 to the Tortoise, it all plays the same. You're strong at the front, weak sides and back. Weak point is the cupola. Yeah, they're slow. Pick up when you're playing these. You pick a direction, and that's it. There's no rushing back to the cap to defend. You pick a line and you just commit. Different story for the FV 183, but it's long reload, long aim time. When you hit something, you demolish them. If you don't, it's painful. Conqueror gun carriage. It's artillery. That's a lovely topic to discuss with people. I haven't marked it yet. I believe I marked the tier 9. Yep. Yeah. Things that stick out in this line. 304 is incredibly quick, short range. The Crusader SP is faster backwards than it is forwards. That's something to note if you're ever going to play it. Gun carriage, the gun is incredible when it hits things. Not much else I can say on it, really. Leopard 1, yeah, I wanted the tier 10, a tier 10 German, and I believe, yes, I went the HWK route, not the Indian Panzer. So the light line was fine, and then I jumped up to the PTA. Loved the PTA. I think I marked this as well. Yes, I did. And the Leopard 1 plays very similar to the PTA. It's just they're great. They're great fun to play. They've got great maneuverability. The gun is brilliant. You can get yourself out of bad spots really easily. And yeah, if you like mediums, I'd highly recommend it. Now, this is the vehicle I regret getting. The mouse. The mouse is slow, as well as the VK and the Mauschen, and then on from that the mouse. Is it worth getting? Is it worth grinding for? No. People see this thing and load gold, and they'll go straight through the front of your turret. Like that, if you're looking at them like that, they'll go straight through. I don't think it's worth it. I really don't. I regret getting this thing. It took a lot of effort and patience, and it was not worth it. If you want it because it's the mouse, I understand that. But if you want a good tier 10 heavy, don't. This, on the other hand, is worth it. It does have weak spots at the back, on the cheeks, under the turret, but it's well worth it. You'll bounce face on, you'll bounce everything, and the gun is incredible. Thoughts on that line? I think the tier 8 and the tier 9 sort of. I just had to get through them to get to the tier 10. Nothing sticks out really in my mind with these two. But they're worth it. The tier 10 is definitely worth it. T100 LT, wow, it's the pancake tank. Again, I've marked this one. The line up to it, what sticks out in my mind? Ooh, let's have a think. LTTB topples over. Well, when I was playing it, it toppled over a lot. High center of gravity, so careful going over crests and hills and going over hills sideways, or at an angle rather. Be careful of that. The lightweight, I think I marked this one. Yes, that's a good little tank, that one. And the T100 also, very, very good. IS-7, well, it's the IS-7, isn't it? Need I say more? He's down here. 257, yes. IS-3, yes. IS-3 is a beast. 257 is unbelievable. Genuinely unbelievable. I had when I was grinding my American T28, I had one of these side-on pinned up against a wall, and I couldn't go through him. Couldn't go through his side. They're unbelievably well armoured. Gun's great. Same weak spot as all Russian pike noses. Lower plate is the weak spot. But if you can keep that covered, it's an absolute beast, and so is the IS-7. I've marked that one, and I love it. 279E. Well, this was a sort of free giveaway from Wargaming, so what can I say about it? Face on, yeah, face people straight on, and you'll bounce most of the time. Can't cover that one too much because nothing leads up to it. It's just you either have it or you don't. 277. The tier 10 is worth it. I struggled a lot when driving the T10. I like to trust my armor maybe more than I should, and this thing, the T10 tier 9, has no armor. The gun is very good when you fully unlock it, but for me it was a little bit painful, the T10. The 277 on the other hand, absolutely brilliant. I aced it my first game, which is in a different video on my channel. But yeah, I love this thing. It's absolutely amazing. Kronvang, I actually enjoyed this line. The Leo was irritating, but the Emil 1, good hull down. Can't side scrape with the hull armor. There's not enough of it. Emil 2, great hull down. You can side scrape with this one. Yeah, Kronvang again. It's an Emil 2, but better. Keep them hull down. Keep them out of harm's way, and you'll do fine. Stridsvang 103B. I really enjoyed this actually. The Udes 03 now. Can't just say the Udes because there's more of them now. The Udes 03, absolutely fantastic. Fully unlocked. It's quicker than some light tanks. It will get you out of a very tight spot. Camo rating is amazing. I had some very good games in this thing, and the same thing applies all the way up. You get them in the right spot, they're invisible. You'll never see them. Only downside is if you're caught out, you're really caught out. If a light circles you, it's really difficult to spin around and aim them with the whole mechanic of this suspension system. But keep them at a distance. They're incredible. And that's it. There you have it. Those are all my tier 10s. I hope you've all enjoyed this video. The retro community is one that encompasses many nations and ages. I want to take some time now to wish you all good health and hope that everyone is keeping safe during this very difficult time. Look after yourselves, folks, and I'll see you on the battlefield.